Today I want to talk about how I make £100 worth of profit every single day selling on eBay. If you like this kind of content, make sure to like and subscribe as I make content about my eBay journey every single day. And today I want to tell you about how I've gotten to the point where I've grown my store to making at least £400 worth of revenue almost every single day of the week. Now, when we're talking about profit, it's important to split two things up, the concept of revenue and the concept of profit. Revenue and profit are not the same thing, and a lot of eBay sellers make this mistake when just setting out. When you go into your eBay app and you see your 90-day total, people think this is how much money they've made selling on eBay, but this is actually not the truth, because this factor is your revenue. It doesn't account for the amount of money you've had to spend sourcing items, posting items, eBay fees, taxes that you may have to pay as well. These things are not factored into this amount of money. So the real question then is, how do you make £100 of pure profit every single day? The first thing that I believe you have to do is calculate the amount of profit margin you want to make per sale of item. For me, I try and aim for between 20 and 30%, with some items being higher and some items being lower. It just depends. So what this means is that for every £1,000 worth of revenue I make, I try and aim for a minimum of £250 of that being pure profit. This allows me to keep my business running smoothly because I know exactly how much money I'm putting in to get a certain amount of money out. And you can just take those figures and multiply them by the amount of revenue that you make and do the calculations there. So realistically, for me to make £1,000 a month, I need to be making £4,000 worth of revenue. And the question then is, how do you do that? Well, there's many websites on the internet that make it very easy to calculate eBay's fees and the postage that you need for each item. So I'd calculate before I actually buy an item or before I source an item, calculate what the potential profit margin on that is going to be. And also it's important to actually factor in the amount of money that you make per item. Oftentimes I see people selling items for £2, £3, £4. But the thing is, unless somebody has paid you £10 per item to take it away from them, you're not making that much profit. You might be making a profit percentage, but the amount of work that you have to do, in my eyes, isn't worth it. For me, I aim to make a minimum of £10 profit per item. That way, if I sell 10 items a day, I make £100 of pure profit. It's a lot easier than me having to sell 100 items a day, making £1 of profit, and having to spend hours and hours doing all the fees, calculating it all, putting it into a spreadsheet, posting off 100 items, packaging 100 items, sourcing 100 items every single day. It makes more sense for me to sell 5 to 10 items with a £10 to £20 profit per item. So realistically, I think that's the easiest way to make a decent amount of money on eBay on a daily basis. Don't focus on selling items for £2, £3 that are going to make you £1 to £2 worth of profit. This can be a business model, but in my eyes, you're going to be more busy than it's worth. I go on eBay and sometimes I actually do buy the cheapest products on the platform, but let's say my phone wire breaks and I try and buy a new phone wire. I'm thinking, how is this person selling this item so very cheaply? It just doesn't make much sense to me, but that's on them. And if they think that's a good business model, that may work for them. But I'd rather be selling 100 items a month to make £1,000, for instance, than selling 1,000 items a month and being 10 times more busy. It just doesn't make much sense. So once you've found your items that you want to sell, once you've found a decent profit margin that you can make to grow your business, the next thing that I personally have done is try to list as many things in that potential realm as possible. So each one of my products on my store is going to make me at least £10 worth of profit. Admittedly, if I accept an offer, I might be making £8 worth of profit, but it's really not that far off. So I try and aim for a minimum of £10 of profit per item. That way I'm fairly rewarded for the amount of work I put in. And that really is it. That is a simple formula I've used to scale this business to the point where I'm making about £400 worth of revenue and £100 worth of profit a day. Just realize how much work you put in, realize what a fair amount of pay per each item is, and make sure that each of your items in your store comes along to that. Admittedly, this profit margin will have to change depending on what industry you're in. If you're selling things like books or iPhone wires, let's say, or phone accessories, you're probably not going to be able to make £10 of profit per item. So at that point, you have to realize what the highest amount of profit you can make in that sector is, or even realize if it is truly worth you being in that area. I have to say though, it is completely up to you. And if you want to be the person who sells 100 items a day, that is great. Somebody has to do that. But for me, the way that I grow this business and the way that I have told my friends to grow this business, if they want to follow it, is to try and make a minimum of £5 at least per item. So if you can't do that in your area, I personally would try moving to a different area, because it is about seeing how much work you have to put in per each item. So hopefully that's helped you guys with your journey. It's been a bit of a minor update, but I just wanted to provide you the details as to how I've been able to make £100 worth of profit every day. And it really is simple. So that's why the video's been so short. More content coming at you guys tomorrow. So thank you for watching. I'll hopefully see you then.